Hi there, this is Yehochanan, and thanks for watching. I previously created a document called HaBrit HaChadashah Quotations in TaNaK from ISR, which you see here, which is available for download at www.seethesound.net. As you can see, it shows verses in Scripture that are quoted from the TaNaK, or the Old Testament, which are in the Renewed Covenant, or the HaBrit HaChadashah, which some refer to as the New Testament. Well, I'm excited to announce another tool I created that builds on this, which is great for looking up quotes in context, which may help you in your studies as it does mine. I can't take credit for originally compiling the list, which as you can see, I've included the link as to where I got it from right here. But I can take credit for changing it from the King James Version into ISR's The Scriptures. I decided to take this cross-reference document and create a study notes cross-reference file for the eSword Scripture study application. If you don't have the eSword application, I encourage you to get it, as it's free and has a lot to offer. Many use ISR's, or the Institute for Scripture Research, the Scriptures. This is available as a module for eSword. It has Yahweh's and Yehoshua's names in it in the Hebrew alphabet, and all the Gimel Dalets, aka God and LORDs, have been taken out. Why? That's a very good question, and glad you asked. It's because these are pagan names, and not to be used in calling on our Creator, who is our Elohim. This means Mighty One, and Elohim is the plural form of El, which doesn't mean many L's, but rather that He, Yahweh, has many attributes. Remember, Emmanuel, it means El with us, as you see in the very first reference right down here. And in case you're wondering, Yahweh gave us those instructions regarding what not to say in Shemot or Exodus 23:13. Okay, here we are in eSword with Exodus 23:13. And in all that I have said to you take heed, and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. Let it not be heard from your mouth. And then in Yehoshua, or Joshua 23:7, so as not to go in among these nations, these who remain among you, and make no mention of the name of their mighty ones, nor swear by them, nor serve them, nor bow down to them. There are studies on this in case you are interested, so just email us at shofar@seethesound.net. So, let's switch gears here. Here's the website seethesound.net. At the top of the listings table shows HaBrit HaChadashah cross-reference tools for eSword. New! Right-click to download. So, here's the list of the files that you're going to want to be downloading. And the first one is what you need to get started. And it's basically a quick set of instructions on what you need to do. Make sure to follow these instructions. This video expands on setting up eSword and how to use the cross-reference tool. Secondly is the HaBrit HaChadashah Quotations in TaNaK from ISR. Now that we were just looking at moments ago. Now this next file right here states download into my documents /eSword after installing eSword. So you want to make sure that you do that step, and that's again laid out in the instructions up here. And then next you have the video that you're now watching. So those are the files that you need to do. All right, now let's switch over here to the next step, which is to look at what you need to get started, instructions PDF file. Okay, now we're looking at the what you need to get started instructions PDF. And first step, of course, is to watch this video. And that way you'll see how to install and use this tool. Secondly, you'll go to eSword's website and you'll select the Download eSword Now button. And then you will go and install eSword onto your computer. Once you've done that, then you go to ISR's website here and select Download the Scriptures for eSword version 9. There's a couple of options there, so make sure you get version 9. And then next is to install the scriptures that you downloaded in the previous step. And once you do that, it'll come up with the right directory. So it's really simple to install that. Afterwards, you will take that file and download the StudyBrit XREF TaNaK.tx, and you're going to put that into your My Documents eSword folder. Next, you'll start eSword, and then select the Scriptures 1998 Plus Book tab, and then you're going to be watching this video, of course, to make sure that you know how to install the tool. Well, from Yehochanan and Elisabeth, we say enjoy. Thanks for watching, and now we're going to go on to the next phase. Okay, here we are back at seethesound.net website. And what you're going to do is you're going to right-click on the StudyBrit XREF TaNaK.tx file, and you're going to go to Save Link As. Then we're going to be going to My Documents in eSword. As you see, I've already saved it there, but that is where you will save that file to. Okay? Alright, now let's hop over to eSword. Okay, so here we are in the eSword application, and we have the Scriptures 1998 Plus selected here, the tab. Now the next thing you'll want to do is come up here and open all windows up with this button here. Once that's done, then you want to come over here to the commentary side, and you'll see that topic notes and study notes is another tab, so you'll select that. And then next you're going to select the synchronize notes button. You got to make sure that this is on. Okay? Now down here you'll see that the study.notetx is selected. So you're going to drop this down and you're going to grab the StudyBrit XREF TaNaK.tx file. Okay? So now you're ready to go as far as that goes. So next we're going to be going back to the cross-reference document and do some work back and forth. Okay, so here we are looking at the quotations in TaNaK. And so the first thing we're looking at here is Matthew 1:23, and the cross-reference, of course, the quotation comes from Yeshayahu or Isaiah 7:14. Now, the next thing I want to point out, and I'm going to go to the end of this document. Sorry, that's a little fast there. As you see, there's a total of 190 references here. And as a matter of fact, there's nearly 300 total references when you count in the multiples. And I'll explain more on that in a minute. Alright, so now with that, let's go back into eSword and see what all this will do. Okay, here we are back in eSword again. And first I want to point out that you can magnify what you're looking at here by simply clicking that button. It can make it a little bit easier to read sometimes. Alright, now the next thing is we want to go to that first listing in the reference document, which was Matthew, a little bit too far, 1 verse 23. Alright, so here it is. Now, the next thing that I had pointed out before, and that is to make sure that you have this link button on. Right now it isn't, but watch what happens when I do click it on. Oh, look at that. Now this side is linked here. And we see that there's a reference to the TaNaK verse of Isaiah or Yeshayahu 7:14. Okay, now if I end up moving my cursor over the listing there, it shows that I can read it yet again. And then beyond that, I can click it even, and it's going to take me over here right to the very verse. And I can then read that all in context. All right. Now, we also see that we have the reference back to Matthew 1:23. So maybe you're working in TaNaK sometime, and then you come across and you see that there's a reference here. So now you can hop over and look at the Brit. So it works both ways. All right. So clicking there takes us back, And there we are. All right, now let's go look at another reference. Okay, so here we are back looking at the cross-reference document, and we're at the 18th reference, and we see that we have a few renewed covenant or HaBrit HaChadashah references, or Brit for short, and there's also a couple of TaNaK references that we see as well. All right, so the first one is Matthew 15:4. So let's go back over and see what's going on in eSword. Okay, so here we are back at eSword, and the next reference we're going to be looking at is Matthew 15:4. So I'm just going to click on this button this time, and I'm going to select chapter 15 alone. And then we're going to look here at 15:4. I'm going to click on that reference to the verse and look over to the right, and you'll see that this all popped up. So again, having that link is very important. And so we see that this has multiple references. So we have Matthew 15:4 as a reference, as well as Mark 7:10 and Ephesians 6:2-3. So you might remember back in the document that those were listed down, those three. And then showing on the right side of the TaNaK, it showed the Exodus 20, verse 12, and Deuteronomy 5:16. Now, again, there's multiple things going on here. So then we have, down at the bottom, we have Exodus 21, verse 17. And the reason why that is because it refers also just to these two verses. So that's why those multiples are there. So if I first go here to Exodus or Shemot 20, verse 12, and click on that, then you'll see that I have those three references. Okay? Now, I can go also to Mark 7:10, and it's going to show me the same exact stuff. All right? So it's all put together and should all be in agreement. And the thing is down here at Exodus 21:17, however, is that it only has those two references for this verse. Okay, so that's why there's a little bit of difference going on there. So don't get confused, but there are multiple references. And what I did do is that I made this from a Brit perspective. Okay, if I tried to do both sides, it would have taken me forever and would have gotten way too complicated. So this is as simple as I could make it, but I feel it's very valuable. All right, so now we're going to go back to the cross-reference document again and look at one more. All right, so here we are back in the cross-reference document again, and number 10, and we're seeing that this one is Matthew 4:15 through verse 16. So this is two verses that are then referring over to a TaNaK verse or set of verses. All right. So now that I show you that, now we're going to go back over to eSword one more time and show you how that's being handled. Okay, so here we are back in eSword once again, and we're looking at Matthew 4, verses 15 and 16. Now I click on the 15th verse here, and then we see that it links up, and it shows, again, the link up here at the top, all right, with the coinciding TaNaK verse here of Yeshayahu or Isaiah 9, 1 through 2. Now I wanted to point out that while this shows verses 15 and 16 as the link, if I come over here and click on verse 16, you won't see a reference there. Okay, so that's how I handled that portion of it. So just to let you know, all right, it's not missing, it's purposely not put there. Okay, well, listen, folks, you can go ahead and add your own comments and findings to this file if you wish, or only use it as the cross-reference to see when a quote is given. The choice is yours. If it gets messed up, well, you can always download it again. So I hope you can see the value in this tool, and I hope you'll use it in your studies of Yahweh's Word. Well, that's all for now. This is Yehochanan bidding you Shalom.